Dude, we're out here, and I did not record yesterday. I genuinely, I was busy, and I figured, you know what, today I'm going to show you, even though I didn't even trade today. Some days are just absolute crap in the market, man. You know, I'm just going to come on here, pretty much show you guys what happened yesterday. Yesterday was actually a really great day. I made in total, it was like $1,700 on my account, something like that. And it was great. There was no complaints about yesterday. There are some days in the market, like today, for example, where it is extremely choppy. My bias was right today. I'll show you what happened today so you guys can go over it with me, or I can go over it with you, I should say. But why I didn't make my trade, I'll tell you that too, all right? So let me exit this real quick. If you guys are new here, I trade the 15-minute orb is what works best for me. Again, some days are not worth trading on a funded account. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how it is. Was I right? Yes. Could I have been very wrong? Yes. That's the whole point, right? We have to take our trades only when we have a very good bias, okay? My bias today was bullish because of the momentum, because of the closure. Everything looked great for bullish. What I did not like was how it was moving, okay? So let's just go over today's trade real quick, show you guys pretty much what happened. As you guys can see, I already set my high and the low of that 15-minute candle from 9:30 to 9:45. We did end up having a closure right here, okay? Immediately right after that closure, we have a drop all the way down to here. Didn't like that. That's the first thing I didn't like, okay? My bias is still bullish. Why? Because, well, the market's obviously telling us we are bullish. You know, we had, my bias coming into it this morning before all this happened was bearish. You know what I mean? We were going down because if you look at it, you know, we're consistently going down. We had a big fair value gap right here. I have one set somewhere over here. It's just a small time frame. It's not going to show right now, but let me move that back down. There's somewhere around there, right? We had a lot of, you know, bearish momentum. So I had figured the market was going to consistently go down. Market at a different point, right? And that's the whole thing. That's why we wait and we have confluence. As you guys can see right here, we had that bullish momentum. I don't know what it was. I washed all the way from right here, down, up, down. I did not like it, and that is why I did not trade today. That's it. You know what I mean? I try to be honest and upfront. Today was not my kind of trading day. I don't like it. I don't like this crap. Was it bullish? And would I have made $1,000? Yes, I would have. If I had went in right here and I got out up there, or up here, I should say, you know, around this range, I would have been completely content and fine. I would have probably made $600 to $1,000 depending on how many micros I used, right? But that's besides the point. Why are we taking that risk when we don't like the trade, right? And that's the whole point. So yesterday, let's go back to yesterday's and show you guys pretty much how I made what I made yesterday, okay? So we have our beautiful trading day yesterday. It was absolutely amazing. So we have our 9:30 candle right here. We have our high and a low, right? That's our 15-minute zone. This is Top Step X. I talk about this all the time. Only use prop firms. It's the smartest thing you could do. Do not use your own money, okay? So as you guys can see, where are we at? Am I on the wrong? Right here. There we go. So you guys can see, we had that high and the low set already, and I went in, basically, I pretty much right away yesterday. Yesterday was amazing. So we have our 9:30, yeah, right here. So we had our closure right here. I was watching it, obviously. I tell you guys every time when it has a closure on the low side, we're looking to go in for a put, a short. And that's pretty much all it was yesterday, man. I went in probably like right here. I saw that it was respecting that zone. We weren't having a whole bunch of green. Like there was a little bit of green, but nothing crazy. You know what I mean? That's going to happen anyway. You're going to have a little bit of momentum on both sides. And it's kind of how the market moves anyway, right? We're going to go up and down. How it moves, right? So I went in for a short right there. I got out somewhere down, I think it was like 25,000-ish, something like that. Actually, wait, I might have been a gun right here. Let me go back and make sure. I need to rewrap that for the 15 minutes to make sure I actually showed you guys that correctly here. So we have a 9:30 candle right here. So I probably went in, yeah, around that range. And it flew all the way back down, like I said, all the way down to the lower 800s. I did not hold it all that way. Like I talk to you guys all the time about, right, is that we don't need to hold all day. You know, would it have been nice to get an extra $1,000, $2,000? 100%. But, right, we don't have those guarantees in the market. That's what my whole point is for coming on this channel, right? What we want to do is we want to get in and we want to get out. You don't want to be in that trade longer than you have to be. And that's something I encourage every single one of you to start learning about, and especially when you're trying to get more and more funded accounts going. You know, that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm just trying to get multiple funded accounts. I want to have 10 to 12 of them, right, and run them consistently. If you're making $500 or $600 on each of those, you're making a lot of money, and you can get $1,000 payouts on all of those. That's what I do. That's what you should do. Every single time you get a payout, buy another account, get that account funded, and then you don't have to go for these crazy numbers, right? Because I would way rather have, 6 funded accounts and I'm taking out $6,000 out of each of them each week, right? Or even like every other week. That's more than any job is ever going to pay you. That's the whole point, right? We don't need to go in for these nasty numbers where, let's just say, like today, for example, right? If I went in for a buy, let's just say right here, this is what some people will do when they'll get in the market. I see this all the time. People go in here, right here, like, oh my gosh, we're going for bearish. We're going to go bearish because we're hitting this point right here, this fair value gap. Boom, immediately got stomped out. With micros, and this is my whole point here, right? With micros, you would have seen probably that you were getting wrong. So let's just say you went in with one micro here for a put, right? You would have seen it as immediately going against you, right? And stopped that out sooner than if you had went in with one mini, you would have got stopped out immediately. You know what I'm saying? The first friggin' 3 seconds, gone. And like with a micro, you can really just, be careful, watch and see, okay, well, this is going against me a lot right now, and I probably should get out, right? And that's the whole point. We want to have that room for error, and a lot of those minis are not going to give you that. Sometimes you're going to make a perfect trade, and you're going to go in there, and you're going to hit, $4,000, and then the next week straight, you're losing all your money, and that's the problem, is that people don't realize that, and they're just going in here, blowing all their accounts. Your duty as a man, right, is to provide. And we do that through God. I talk about this all the time. God is my provider. I am not the provider, right? I am my woman's provider, but I'm not, God is our provider. You know what I mean? And the Bible talks a lot about, wealth, and just building wealth, building success throughout time. And that's why I tell you guys each time I make these videos, right, is we want to go in there slowly. We want to build wealth throughout time, and if you can build, from 1 account up to 10 accounts, that is amazing. You should be so proud of yourself. You know what I mean? Especially when you're doing it the right way. You're not going in there and you're just gambling 10 accounts. I see it happen all the time. People will get their 10 funded accounts and blow them all next week. And then they're sitting there $1,000 down wondering what happened. It's because you're not doing it right. You know what I'm saying? That's what I talk about all the time. Find 2 to 3, micros in each trade that you're taking. Really just build it up. On an eval, it doesn't matter as much. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. You can go in like 4 or 5 micros. You know what I mean? And just go in for the trades that you want to go into. And, if you blow it, you blow it. But at the end of the day, when you get a funded account, man, just try. Try your best to use micros. And, just, again, prayer is everything. Without prayer, I have nothing. I can't do this without God. It's impossible. It's difficult. It really, really is. And I don't know. I just want to leave this video with one verse that I always talk about. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not harm you, plans to give you hope in the future, right? No matter where you're at in your life right now, no matter how bad the circumstances are, even with me, I fall short every day, man. Money, no money, I fall short of God and His glory every single day. And like He's still graceful to us. He still blesses us. He's still faithful even when we're unfaithful, right? So I walked into this video and I feel unworthy today, and like that's why I like making these videos and really just talking about these things, because there's more men out here going through this mentally too, especially when you get into trading and you don't feel very worthy of the money, and like that's kind of how I'm at. I don't know if you guys have felt that way, if you guys are funded or not. I feel like I'm unworthy in everything in life, right? And that's why I want to encourage you to understand that, God wants our success, even when we fail. God wants us to succeed and be the best man we can be despite who we are, because we have a sinful nature that lives inside of us, right? And that sinful nature, it resides in your body, resides in your mind. And, just don't hold on to it, right? Whenever you mess up, don't hold on to it. I encourage you to chase God in trading, and invite Him into your trades, invite into your life, into your sin, into everything, man. God is the only way throughout all of this. And if you truly want to make something of yourself and change your life forever, just follow God, follow His word. I'm not going to sit here and say that life's going to be easy and you're going to win every trade you're going to make, because that's not what my channel's about. My channel's about encouraging you to, just take steps. Take initial steps, go into small, grow throughout time. If you can make $45,000 or $50,000 or even $30,000, you are in 1% of the men out here that are trying to do trading. And that's what you guys got to realize, right? 1% of people actually make payouts. 1%. So what are you? You know what I mean? If you just get one payout, it's just showing you that, you got this. You know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing forward and trust God, trust His way. And I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm not asking for money, none of that. I'm just asking for a like and subscribe, man. It helps a lot. Get these videos, blow it up, and more people can see this content. I want more biblical men on this channel. I want to grow a channel of, men of the Lord, and just make incomes together, provide for our families together, man. You know, this stuff has the, you know, ability to change your life forever. Like I just said, you have 10 accounts running, man, and you continuously run those accounts. And let's just say you go from $1,000 payouts to $2,000 payouts, $2,000 payouts times 10 accounts. That's $20,000 a week at some point, you know. And that's what I realize. I don't really like to get too far into it because I'll get into my own head and I'll overthink everything, right? Because that's just how I'm as a person. But I can say that like this stuff is possible to retire your whole family on. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it's gonna be overnight. Like I just told you before this, right? It's not gonna be overnight, but one day we will have it. You know, one day we can tell our wives and our children, you know, they don't have to worry again, you know, and through the Lord, you know, we were able to learn something that can consistently make our families money and for our future, you know what I mean? So I love you guys. I'm gonna stop blabbing. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man.